The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to Dear Download, a podcast where we get to share our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk... Have I missed something again? Oh, I need to get episode 18's notes up again. We'll talk about the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and the music industry past, present and future. I never said what episode it was. This is episode 39. And we are talking about Bring Me the Horizon this episode. I am Adam, and as always, I'm here with Simon. How are you doing, buddy?
Hello, good day to you, sire.
Hello. I don't know. You make me laugh every time you say that. I don't know why. I should know it's coming by now.
I should said know it's coming. I've only said it 39 times before.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really understand. But anyway, how are you doing, my man? How has your last couple of weeks been?
Yeah, good. Really good. Busy. I finally bought my download ticket. So, well, I started the installment scheme.
I did see, yeah.
So, that would have been funny if, one of the guys who does a podcast about Download Festival didn't actually go to Download Festival. So, it's not all about download, but, based around it. So I'm happy about that. That was good. Apart from that, not much really. I badly split my finger open.
Yeah.
Like, I was repairing a dishwasher at work, and there was a bit underneath. Oh, man, it feels so horrible. I don't want to say it. I'm not really bad with stuff like this, but I put my finger on this bit and pulled, and it was literally like a razor blade. Ooh. It went straight through. I felt it hit the bone. Literally, it bounced back off. I went like that. And I'm telling you right now, I reckon if it was even just a millimetre either side, I reckon I would have had to go to the hospital for stitches. Like, it's been reopening all the time because it's that big. But it is starting to close up now. But I reckon if it was any bigger, we're in stitches territory, or like skin hanging off territory. It was bad. So this morning, sorry for everyone. That's quite graphic. Right. It was bad, and there was a lot of blood. I don't mind blood, but there was a lot of blood. I'm fine with stuff like that. I was just like, fuck me, that's it. When I put it under the tap, woo! Boy, that hurt.
Cool, yeah, I bet.
That really, really hurt. Like a shock, like, bam, there's pain. It was instant. At least my brain's working. But yeah, and this morning was funny because I got this plaster on my finger, right? And it keeps opening up, so I can't do anything physical with it. So it was really icy this morning. I don't know if it was bad where you were, but we're in the middle of nowhere here. So it was, what was it, -2 this morning or something? -3, -2? And
it was -4 here, yeah.
Vicky had to come out and scrape the ice off my car because I couldn't do it with my broken... I was trying to do it on my left hand and it just was not working at all. So Vicky had to scrape my car and her car, and then we both drove to work. So... That was interesting, yeah. So apart from cutting myself open, spilling blood, and getting my download ticket, I haven't really done that much that can come to me right now. What about you, brother?
Well, I hope it. I was going to say I hope it heals soon, but
it'll be fine.
Down to the bone, it's probably going to take a while.
It might take a while, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, cool. Well, I haven't bought mine yet, but my download ticket yet. But I have managed to book it off finally.
Good.
I know another friend said, they went and booked it off, and I was like, shit, I haven't done that yet. I hope they didn't get the last week that was available, because that would have been rubbish. But yeah, I went up to the holiday book room, office room, that sort of thing. Yeah. Luckily, they had time off that I could take. So, yes, I do have download off now.
Woo!
But as for me, nothing too interesting has happened the last couple of weeks. I spent most of the day in hospital today. Not going to tell you anymore. I just want all the listeners to message me saying, "You okay, hun?" Check.
I know what it is. I've got the inside information, so
No, I'm all right. Yeah, no, there's a problem with
this
my
is
eye.
what happens
But it's all
when you put things that are too big for you up your bum, and you've got to go to the hospital to get them out.
Yeah. Yeah. One man, one jar comes to mind. But,
Oh.
anyway.
This is a graphic beginning to an episode, man.
This
A
is.
lot
This
of
is.
blood and penetration being mentioned on this intro today.
Yeah. Let's put another trigger warning at the beginning. Did you enjoy my trigger warning for the previous episode, the Papa Roach episode?
Yeah. You're a dickhead.
But funny enough, so if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, Simon was calling Metamorphosis by Papa Roach Morphogenesis. And Seegers in our Discord was talking about Morphogenesis by Scar Symmetry the other week.
Yeah.
Not the other week, the other day in the Discord. So I was like, I know that.
I was just thinking of a
that's why you were saying
much better album, so I couldn't help but say it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I put trigger warning if this, so he keeps saying it, if this kind of thing bothers you, then consider skipping this episode. Just because I know there's I do that kind of thing. I like to annoy people. Like, I'm not one of those people who say moist or have to post that moist meme every time I see it, because that annoys me. But like I like to play on people's.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it on purpose either.
Things.
It was totally like subconscious. I thought I was saying the right title, but so I wasn't. But every time I spoke about it, that's the first thing that came into my head. So I was like, oh yeah, I was saying that the whole time.
But
I
it
didn't even
happens.
realise.
I've listened to so many episodes. Sorry, yeah, but it happens. I've listened to so many episodes, and I listen to myself and I think, what the fuck was I talking about then? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I know that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't exist, or that's not the right wording for a musical term, or something like that. And why did I say that and think it was real and not correct myself? Like, sometimes it just happens.
I think sometimes
while you're doing this.
Because when me and you have these conversations, like these conversations are basically raw. Adam cuts out really very, very little from these conversations. You guys are pretty much hearing most of the stuff that we say. So I feel like sometimes these microphones, when you got a mic in front of you, it sort of coaxes out of you stuff that not that you normally wouldn't say, but you attempt to say things that you can't necessarily explain, but you try and get your point across to say them. So and then afterwards you realise, I should have said this. You get that kind of syndrome with a podcast where you're like, I could have said that so much better than I did. But I'm not, I don't know if anyone else thinks, like anyone else is thinking, listening to the podcast, if the listeners are going, yeah, he should have said that much better. I mean, they're probably not, but I think you're probably thinking in your head, because I do it sometimes. I'm like, why don't I mention that? Like, after we do a whole episode, I do loads of research and I'm like, there's like 4 things I didn't mention. What is wrong with my brain? But we'll get we're going to do enough podcasts where eventually we can mention all those things. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, this podcast is basically infinite monkeys with infinite typewriters, right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
So
eventually we would have
we'll
spoke
cover
about
everything.
Just everything.
Yeah, we'll cover everything correctly and incorrectly.
I love it. I love it.
In different
Everything.
episodes. Yeah. Where have we gone? What's happening with the podcast
Already. We're off. Get the gun out. Bang, we're gone.
Yeah. Right. What else have I done? Nothing much. It's been cold, hasn't it? It's been very, very cold
freezing,
this last couple of weeks. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, luckily, I'm not sure if I've said it before, my drive is between my house and next door's house, and the car never, ever frosts over.
Oh, that's good.
In that gap. We're
It's
so
the heat,
lucky.
isn't it? Like the residual heat from the 2 houses. Just, that is
Yeah.
good. I park right next to the house, but the gap between our house and the next one where it's detached is quite substantial, so you don't get any... You might get a little bit extra heat from the house, but the problem is that the new builds are so well insulated, it doesn't go in or out, so the car doesn't get anything.
Yeah.
So that's a bit shit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What else? Nothing. I'm sure there was something else I wanted to say here, but it's gone. So, do we have any news or new releases?
Probably.
Probably.
There's probably some news, and there's probably some new releases.
Yeah. Well, Simon, why don't you bring us in with the news then?
This is the news. We've got news coming for you now. Just shut up. 'Cause the news is going to come now. This is the news.
Thank you, Simon. Ozzy?
Yes. Well, that's a huge deal. I was going to do a video on that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
how was your YouTube going? Sorry.
Yeah, good. Yeah, really good.
One sentence into the news and we're off.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Really good. I'm getting a lot of people watching my videos constantly now, which is fantastic. That's kind of what you want. So I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
So if you listen to this and you haven't watched my YouTube, why not? But also you don't have to. But yeah, no, it's going well. Really good. But I was definitely going to do definitely going to do a video on Ozzy because I really do love Ozzy Osbourne. So I was going to do something about, him sort of retiring and how much of a massive impact he's had on the sort of metal landscape cannot be understated by anyone. Black Sabbath and Ozzy, it's just huge. So it is a really, really big deal, which I probably will talk about in greater detail after I've done my video, because I probably would have sat down and actually thought about it as a subject. But yeah, I'm sad because the man is a legend. The man is an absolute legend, and he's super old now, which is sad. And I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that all of these like rock legends and people that we were brought up with to think that they were like indestructible. Like take Lemmy for instance. You could have shot the guy and the bullets probably would have bounced off. And then when people like that pass away or get old or you see them deteriorate, it's fucking horrible. It's really not nice. I don't enjoy it. But it's also great that these people have given us massive back catalogues of awesome music. So and videos and with Ozzy fucking TV shows and everything. I mean, just him being him is a meme in itself because he's so incredible. So yeah, sad, but it's a legacy, man. The guy, people like that, even eventually when he does pass away, eventually in the future, hopefully that's a while off. But these people will be remembered for a long time, man. So yeah, cool that he's done that and said, you must get to a point and think, I mean, surely he can't do too much on stage at the moment. He's had a lot of illnesses since 2020. His tour has been going on for the last 5 years because he kept on getting sick and postponing and stuff. And I feel really bad because there were some people that were probably thinking this is my last chance to see Ozzy now, and now they definitely aren't going to see him. So I can understand why some people would be annoyed by that, but I think also they should be like, obviously he has to kind of stop. So I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, no, exactly the same. I was just going to say a lot of people are probably absolutely gutted, and probably people who had tickets even more so. But no one's going to be more gutted than Ozzy himself, surely, right?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
That guy just wants to get on stage because he absolutely loves it. Just listen to an interview with him. Let's watch anything. Like, the guy just loves like music and performing and being a performer. I don't know, he's been blessed because he got to do it for so long, but it must be even worse when you've just been able to get up there and do it, and now you kind of can't anymore. It must feel like someone's ripped your soul away. So I do feel really bad for him. But yeah, you're right. No one's probably sadder than Ozzy is. Yeah,
well, moving on to some little bit more positive news. Because there's a new Linkin Park track coming out. It should be out by the time this episode's out.
Yes, I am excited about that. They done a lot of. I really like it was very comprehensive, but with a Hybrid Theory when they released the anniversary edition, and they put everything. They put the EP before. They put all Reanimation. They put the demos. They put the like studio stripped versions, instrumentals, like everything. It's absolutely insanely comprehensive, and I think that's really cool. I like when Linkin Park do that. So putting unreleased music out there is even cooler because it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I literally, and there's always a pinch of salt with Linkin Park because, you know, you always got the elephant in the room, which is obviously the fact that Chester's not here anymore. And that always makes me kind of sad when I listen to Linkin Park now, even though they're probably one of my favourite bands of all time. But also it's nice that we will be getting to hear something that we haven't heard before. So yes, I am excited, and also excited to see what that release comes with when they release the 20th anniversary. If we get any demo versions or, you know, stuff that we haven't heard before, versions of the songs that are on Meteora. So yeah, I'm buzzing for it. As a Park fan, stuff like this is fucking excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know that the Hybrid Theory one had all that on it. I never...
Yeah, dude,
never knew.
It got put on Spotify as well. Yeah, if you go to Spotify, it might be the last thing they released, actually. It might be the last thing they released. If you go to Hybrid Theory 20th Anniversary Edition, there's like 5 discs. Like, it's wicked. It's wicked. Like, everything on there. B-sides, live at Radio 1 lounge bits, demos, the original Hybrid Theory EP. Yeah, it's all on there.
Shit.
It's sick.
Yeah.
But trust me, a lot of it's worth listening to. There's some really, really great stuff. Especially the if you listen to the one that says Hybrid Theory EP, that was the EP they done before they became Linkin Park and done Hybrid Theory, and that has some absolutely banging songs on it, and you can really hear how they went from that to Hybrid Theory. It's a really interesting listen. Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Really worth it.
And like I said, this whole thing will be good as well. Was it like 4.5 hours? And I'm sure I could listen to all of that. Like there's some bands who I'd put it on, and after an hour after the main songs, I'd probably get a bit sick of it. But with Linkin Park, there's no way.
Yeah, literally, yeah. You'll be fine. But honestly, check it out. There's some stuff on there that's worth listening to, and I hope they're going to do something similar with, because I know that Mike Shinoda was speaking about how much work he put into it. You know, collating all the songs and seeing what he wanted to get, and they got to try and get all versions of this stuff. He had a lot to do with it, so I think maybe most of them did, but I watched Mike Shinoda unboxing it on his YouTube channel, and he was talking about all the work that they put into it to get all the stuff to sound good for the fans. And Park have always been like that. They always want to give as much to the fans as possible, so sick.
Yeah. Do you think they'll be touring again? Or have you heard if they will be?
I don't think you'll ever hear another note from Linkin Park live.
I was leaning a similar way. I don't really know why. I obviously don't know as much as you, but I think, have I said it before? People were writing to them saying like, well, why don't you just use a hologram for Chester? And Mike basically said like, could you imagine having a hologram of your best friend who's gone right next to you, sort of thing? Like, there's no way. At the time, that was a few years back now.
Yeah.
But I
there are
can't
some
see
people,
they're much.
Irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Kind of like, like Queen now. Don't get me wrong, Adam Lambert is a fantastic singer, but they are sort of almost like a covers band of themselves, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, because they're playing all songs that were amazing. But, you know, even Adam Lambert himself would tell you that he's not trying to replace Freddie Mercury, because that would be impossible. He's just having fun singing Queen songs. Perfectly fine. And if Linkin Park were to do that, it would be fine, but I feel like the expectation would be so much that it would put so much pressure on whoever took that role. Yeah. Also, you have to actually be able to do it, because not only was he tremendous, he was also one of the fucking best singers legitimately ever. So do you know what I mean? Not only do you have to find someone to fill their shoes and not have the pressure, you have to find someone that can fucking sing that good. So I wouldn't be a fan of them doing anything. It would be acceptable if it was taken with a pinch of salt, but people won't do that when it comes to Linkin Park, because people are too, mental about them. So I would rather they just never play anything again, personally. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I think I've been leaning the same way. I've just seen people, maybe not the download group online, but definitely the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. I've seen people posting there saying like, let's get Linkin Park back again, and I just thought, I don't think it'll happen. anyway, I mean, you can't do it this year anyway because they need to have booked it ages ago.
Yeah.
Download at least a year in advance. You can't just go, oh right, yeah, let's fuck this headliner off, and get someone else in.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I'd rather they didn't.
yeah.
But in this day and age, with bands, you know, Pantera have got 2 dead members and they're still going. So I know it's not the singer, so it's a bit different, but still, it's it's a whole thing.
Well, do you have any other news for this section?
Oh yeah, new Slipknot song. Have you heard the new Slipknot song?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah, I didn't like it.
What did you think? You didn't like it?
I didn't like it. No.
Okay.
What did you think? Go on. You're going to tell us how much you liked it, aren't you?
I really, really liked it. Yeah, I really, really liked it. Well, it's an offshoot of the sort of weirdness and sort of experimental stuff that was on the last album, which I absolutely loved. So, yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. Really, really, really liked it.
Cool.
Head PE are going to release a new album. It's not a Head PE album. It's a Head PE covers album, which I'm actually looking forward to. It's all punk and I think maybe some Motown and other stuff from the 70s. It's called 70s Hits from the Pit. And their cover of I Want to Be Sedated they've just released, which I think is really good as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, yeah, anything Head PE that they've worked on for a bit of time is good. Just don't do any songs with any other people for a whole album because it sucked. But I was really annoyed as well because the Sandmine EP that had come out before that, I thought was brilliant. So it was really annoying me that they'd done like a really terrible album after that. Apart from that, I haven't really been listening to anything else. I've been listening to a lot of old Bring Me the Horizon, obviously, for this episode. So, not for this episode. I mean, I wanted to listen to it anyway, but it was, So, I listened to a lot of Lorna Shore as well recently. A lot of Lorna Shore. So, yeah, I'm going through a bit of a deathcore phase at the moment. Oh!
Nice.
Do you know what, actually, as well? I heard one of the most insane, crazy songs I've heard, and I'm not sure if I like this band as a whole. I think I like a couple of their songs. But I heard Watch the World Burn by Falling in Reverse. I saw the music video first. Holy S. That is an absolute banger.
Awesome. I will have to listen to that.
And I'd never really listened to them that much before. Yeah. It starts off like a trap song. And he does the most disgusting
I don't really know what trap
rapping
is.
ever. And then it turns into like a My Chemical Romance song. And then it ends up being like a metalcore, deathcore song. I can't explain it, but this song is unreal. If you like stuff that's really messed up, listen to Watch the World Burn by Falling in Reverse. And if you can, watch the video because it might even be more messed up than the song is. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, cool. Well, I got a couple of new releases. Probably not as exciting as some of the ones you had. But as soon as people were mentioning like Slipknot in our Discord, I listened to it, and I was like, nah, I got other bands that have released stuff that I need to listen to. Go away, Slipknot. But yeah, Self Deception they put a post out saying that it's been leaked. One of the songs from the new album has been leaked, but I don't know if that's just there's a new single that's been released. I don't know if they leaked it deliberately or they're saying it's been leaked to build some hype. Or I don't know. Some bands might do that. But yeah, it's not that great. It's a song called 11, I believe. I can't remember. But it's not as good as their typical stuff. It'll be interesting. I just wait for the album to come out. I think it's coming out in March. But that's it for my new releases. We have waffled for way too long. Do you want to bring Ronnie in so we can talk about Bring Me the Horizon?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's bring him in. Hold on, I need something for this. Right, Ronnie, I'm going to play the Summon Ronnie song on my African Bendai. Ronnie, 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 where are you? Where are you? Ronnie, 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 where are you? Where are you? Summon the Ronnie, summon the Ronnie.
Symphony Download!
Thank you, Simon. And thank you, Ronnie. So this episode is all about Bring Me the Horizon. We're doing 3 episodes about the headliners for download. And Simon knows far more than I do about Jesus. Simon knows far more about Bring Me the Horizon than I do. So, as I said before, I'm going to hand the baton over to him for the majority of this episode. I'm going to chip in where I can. But Simon, over to you.
But I will need Adam's assistance because that's just pretty standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the baton.
That's all right.
Okay, so we'll start right at the beginning. I'll give you the first sort of intro, kind of like we did with the Papa Roach one. So obviously, Bring Me the Horizon, or BMTH, as a lot of people just put. So you know what that means. Obviously, they are a British band from Sheffield, and they were formed in 2004. Which is actually a crazy long time ago.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time ago. So obviously, in the group, of course, we got Ollie Sykes on guitar. We have Lee Mallier, bassist Matt Keane, drummer Matt Nichols, and keyboardist Jordan Fish. So they've relatively been the same band for quite a long time. They have changed a guitarist, and obviously Jordan Fish never used to be in the band. They didn't have someone who'd done all the electric parts and extra drums and stuff, but we'll get to that. People back in the day will remember them as a massive MySpace band. If it wasn't for MySpace, I don't think this band ever would have got as big as they did.
Yeah, okay.
Because in 2006, MySpace was huge.
Yeah, it was.
And Bring Me were sort of, just coming up, and all of this kind of emo. They looked like they should have played emo music, because we used to call them Bring Me the Haircuts, because the emo fringe was so low and so far over the face. I mean, there were no eyes, it was just hair. So people used to take the piss out of the way they looked, and I did a lot back in the day. But then I saw them play and I was like, holy shit, they are like super talented.
Yeah.
And I was just mugging them off just for the way they looked. But I think everyone just sort of like said, yeah, okay, they look like emo nerds, but they play disgusting deathcore, which is really complex and weird timings, and they're obviously really talented. So that's the first thing I remember about Bring Me the Horizon is Bring Me the Haircuts, going onto someone's MySpace profile and them having something from the EP. And I remember one of my best friends in the entire world, Eugene, just absolutely loving them from the get-go. Like, he had the EP straight away.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got it from. I don't know who gave it to him. I don't know how the hell he found out about this band, but he had the EP like straight away pretty much. And so I was subjected to that from the get-go. So
Yeah.
I didn't like them initially. I wasn't going through my sort of, I'd listen to heavier music. Like, I listened to bands like Bleeding Through and Unearth, but I was more of a metalcore guy than a deathcore guy. At that point, if it didn't have any singing, I wasn't necessarily going to listen to it.
Right.
If it was metal, it would only be in the couple of years after that when I would really get into stuff that didn't necessarily have some form of nice vocals in it. So yeah, but until I get onto like deathcore and shit like that.
Yeah, just trying to think what I was listening to in 2006.
Yeah,
This
2006. What was your vibe?
I don't know. This sort of thing has come up a lot, and I can usually work out what I was into at the time, but 2006 was quite a drunk year for me, I think. I spent a lot of the time drinking.
Oh, yeah. I was definitely drunk in 2000. I was drunk that entirety of 2006. No doubt.
Yeah. So I don't know. I will work on that.
That was...
get back to you.
That was, I remember, these were the years, so from like 2000 and, I'd say from 2005 to literally like 2011, maybe a bit before that for the drinking, it would literally be, it would be Monday, no drinks, Tuesday to the pub for pound a pint, Wednesday, maybe some drinks around someone's house if they were having something over, Thursday, definitely drinks, Friday out, Saturday out, Sunday recover. So we were drinking, at least minimum 4 out of 7 days a week for about at least 5 years straight. Like, My 20s, I obliterated my insides completely.
Well, yeah.
And this was prime time for that.
Well, as you've gone through yours, I think I should go through mine. Wednesday was student night. And that was cheap.
Yeah.
That was cheap. Thursdays was karaoke.
Yeah.
Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh my God. Please
Yeah.
tell wait. Please tell me you've done some karaoke.
Yeah.
Yes. Is there anything that you would do? Is there like one that you do if you do karaoke?
Yes, there was.
Oh my God, please. I want to know what this is.
It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing to get excited about. The one I would always do was 500 miles, but everyone does that. A lot of people do that, so it wasn't like my thing. I was just copying everybody else, really. But I did do a few other ones.
Can you sing?
No, no, I can't.
I was gonna say that's a really good song if you're not a great singer.
Yeah,
because it's singing / talking. It's like sing talking.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have a great voice, you can kind of make that song sound all right, which is actually a really, really good choice for someone who's not a singer.
Yeah. I mean, I was always drunk, and I remember I always tried doing the Scottish accent as well, and that was terrible. Like, every time I was like, why did I do that? But a couple of those, my favourites were Bryan Adams and Mel C, When You're Gone. I managed to get a girl up to sing that with me.
That's an absolute tune.
She had never heard of it. She came up with me and was like, oh yeah, sing this with you. I thought she'd heard the songs. She had no idea. I didn't know until after we got off.
Mate, that's a tune.
Yeah.
I'd do that with you. I'll do the Mel C parts. I love that song, man.
And the other one, I thought, so as a singer, you can talk. Sorry, we've gone off on one again. We do this. I'm sorry, guys.
We haven't even got 2 minutes into talking about Bring the Horizon, and already we're talking about something else. We'll get back there in a second, guys, and then we won't go off. But
we will.
I have to know about his karaoke.
Yeah, cool. Another one I really wanted to do. I really like the song. I'd never tried singing it before, but it was Always. That's Bon Jovi as well, isn't it? Yeah, Bon Jovi, Always. Bon Jovi. And I got up there. I thought I did really well. And a guy who was there with me, I came off and he was like, yeah, no, that's a really, really hard song to sing. And I thought, I can't sing. So there's no way that sounded good. It doesn't sound like a hard song to sing, but I guess people who are singers like yourself will know when there are hard songs to sing, right? You know what songs are difficult.
I wouldn't.
No.
It's not the first one I would attempt to sing, because I think it would be quite hard to sing.
That never occurred to me. I thought it would be quite easy.
I tell you right now, right, as someone who can sing, the best people to watch do karaoke or do karaoke with are the people that can't sing, right?
Yeah.
When you get up and you're a singer and you can sing at least to just like a decent standard, it's fun. And it's fun for the people, but it's kind of boring. It's always better when you have someone that can't sing and they are giving it everything they've got.
Yeah.
That is 10 times more entertaining than someone going up doing karaoke and singing the song perfectly. It's always... Karaoke is meant for people that can't sing. That's what it's for. It's supposed to be fun for those. So I always prefer watching other people. I'll go up and sing and everyone will be like, that's good. Yeah, he can sing. So big deal. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But if someone got next guy gets up, they can't sing a note and attempts the hardest song ever, and you're like, this guy's the shit. Because he had the balls to get up there, or she had the balls to get up there and actually attempt to sing it. So yeah. That's cool. Awesome. I'd love to watch you do karaoke.
I haven't done karaoke.
Oh my God, I really hope there's karaoke at my stag do.
Yeah, I just thought that.
Because you're getting up there, boy. You are getting up there, mate. Oh my Lord.
Well, we all know.
I can't wait.
I've got the looks of Freddie Mercury because I've got the big teeth. But I can't sing any Queen. That's all.
Damn.
Anyway,
I'll try it, don't worry.
We will. I'm sure I will get up and try and sing something.
Please. I'll go up with you. We'll do Mel C and Bryan Adams When You're Gone.
Okay,
That'll become our signature tune.
It's a good song, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's such a good song.
It is a good song. I was only listening to that a couple of weeks ago and saying to Vicky, this is an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Right, should we talk about Bring the Horizon?
No, I want to talk
before
about...
the people that have joined this podcast that are new completely turn it off.
I want to talk about 90s pop music still.
We'll get there. We'll do an episode about our favourite 90s pop bands.
That's a good idea. Yes, Bring Me the Horizon. Sorry. Back on course. how
It wasn't
long?
you. It was probably me that took it off tangent, so don't apologise. I was actually thinking, so this is more of a general thing before we go into, like, we'll go through some of their albums and stuff. They might be, and I was trying to think off the top of my head, I didn't look on sort of Download Festival history to see. There's 4 bands that I can say that I have known them or been aware of them since their beginnings,
Right.
and now they've headlined Download Festival. So we can't say Maiden because we weren't
Okay.
alive when they
Yeah.
came out. We can't say
Right.
but I'd say within our lifetime. But I personally have either liked or been very aware or subjected these bands from the beginning, which are Slipknot. I was
Okay.
there right from the beginning, pretty much.
Yeah.
They've headlined Download, so it was great to see, through the teenage years to now their transition. Avenged Sevenfold, pretty much there at the beginning.
Yeah.
They've managed to headline. Biffy Clyro. Saw Biffy
thought that
Clyro
could be one
support
of them.
Limp Bizkit in 2004, and now I've seen them, like fucking play Download twice, which is great.
Yeah.
And Bring Me's the other one. So it's just really cool to have been present from a band's beginnings and to see them go all the way up and
Yeah.
now be headlining the sort of festival that you have fallen in love with, basically. So I wrote that down because I just thought that was interesting. Like, we're coming to that point now where that 20-year cycle of bands that started that long ago are just coming up now to sort of, Slipknot on that got big quite, much quicker than that. It only took them 10 years to headline festivals, where bands like Bring Me the Horizon, it's taken, nearly 20 years, 19 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was an interesting point that, we have seen some bands literally come straight from the bottom and go right to the top from nothing. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't think of any others.
That is interesting, and we'll have to see if the next one is another band who you've liked right from their beginning.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So let's talk Bring Me albums, shall we? So how many albums do they have? Hold on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they have 6 albums. So 6 albums. Spoiler, I like all of them to varying degrees. Some I like more than others. Some I consider to be essential or albums that are must listen to albums, and albums that rank right up there when it comes to greatest metal albums of all time. So some of their albums I do consider to be very good. So you said you had actually had a chance to listen to their first album, Count Your Blessings, from 2006. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you think? Did you have anything to say? Any notes on that bad boy?
Well, honestly, I got At the Gates vibes from it, and I was not expecting that at all. And I thought, like, because I really quite liked At the Gates back at this point. So,
Oh yeah,
I don't
great
know.
band.
But I mean, this was a time before like a lot of streaming services anyway. So I don't think I knew anybody who had the album. I wasn't that interested in them, so I never went out and got the album. But I think if I had at the time, I probably would have been a much bigger Bring Me the Horizon fan from there on out.
Well, you've actually made like a really, really good observation there, which is I will mention on the second album how much they are influenced by European metal, especially
Okay.
melodic deathcore and deathcore.
Yeah,
I didn't mention them exactly, but bands very similar. And you can hear on that, you can hear the melodic deathcore influences from bands like that.
Yeah.
And other bands that I'll mention. So you have literally hit the nail right on the head, dude.
yeah. I mean,
And
yeah, it wasn't.
when we go to the second album, it's produced by someone who produced all of those bands.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. So your ears are really working for you there, because you're totally right. They took a lot from the European sound, and they took a bit like the beatdowns and stuff from the more American hardcore stuff, and sort of fused those two together with just like horrible vocals. But yeah, dude, spot on with that one, mate. So I'll just give you quickly my views on this album. So Count Your Blessings 2006. If you like deathcore, it's a must-listen-to album. It's a really... I actually forgot how much of a good deathcore album this is. It's brilliant. It's tons of fun. They're not taking themselves too seriously. Killer guitar work. Sick breakdowns. Really disgusting beatdowns. For any sort of deathcore fan, this is a highly recommend. This is a very, very good deathcore album, especially for someone's first album. It's actually insane how good it is. I'd recommend the songs do you listen to for Stevie Wonder's Eyes Only. I used to Make Out with Medusa and Pray for Plagues, I think, are the best songs from that album. Moving on, 2008, they come up with an album that I see a load of people sort of remembering very fondly. I would probably say this album's at the bottom of the pile for me, personally, in albums. Not that it's bad. None of them are bad. It's just, I think this is just my least favourite.
Yeah.
This is the last one I would go to, I think, from all of them. It was also a slight change away from the sort of deathcore bit they've done on a few other things. But did you get a chance to listen to this one at all?
Only briefly. Simon will know, if you're in Discord, you will also know, I lost my headphones a few days ago. I did listen to the second and third albums very, very briefly. But I don't know. My earphones were a bit rubbish anyway, so I could do with spending a bit more money on them. Anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, so I listened to it briefly. I can't really comment on it too much. So no, basically. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm afraid.
That's all right. So we'll talk about it because the European thing's going to come out. So yeah, this one, a slight change of direction. They did go more towards those sort of metal, European metal influence. It was produced by Fredrik Nordstrom, who had produced Dimmu Borgir, Arch Enemy, Soilwork, like legitimately some of the best sort of European metalcore, deathcore, melodic deathcore bands.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was kind of bringing that to it. I'm not so keen on the songs. I think that some of the riffs are quite good and that. But on this one, I think that they put actually some electronic stuff in there. It was only quite subtle on this album. Obviously, gets way further to the forefront when you listen to the new Bring Me stuff. But yeah, heading towards the metalcore more than death metal, deathcore style stuff. But still a good listen. But I would say this, I wrote this down specifically. One of my criticisms of this album is that all of the riffs sound very similar.
All right.
Like the first song and second song, the riffs are almost exactly the same. I think it's probably it sounds like it's just the same riff, just played in different key. Like it's got some good songs on it, but I listening back to this one in retrospect, I really didn't get anything from this album as much as I did as any of the others. And this is probably the one I remember the least because it's the one I've listened to the least.
Yeah.
So, I don't really care that much about this album, but I still would recommend Chelsea Smile, which is by far one of the best heavy Bring Me songs, and Sleep With One Eye Open, which is one of the most disgusting songs that Bring Me Horizon have ever made. It's great fun, but apart from that, I wouldn't recommend anything from the album. And I'm sure a lot of people will slate me for that because a lot of people consider this to be like the best Bring Me album from the heavy, the heavy phase of Bring Me. So yeah, think what you will of that one. Would you like to say anything more on that?
No, just going to say it's interesting that you said Soilwork in there because I was a huge fan of Soilwork.
What a band.
Yeah, it's one of those bands that I sort of got into late, so I stuck on the whole discography on Spotify. So I couldn't tell you what's from what album. I couldn't tell you what's from what year or anything like that, or any of the song names because I was always busy working when I had it on. But I liked a lot of their stuff. So it would be interesting going back and listening to the sort of things that they put out at the same time and see how similar it is, or if you can hear the what's the right word? The influence that the producer has on the two bands, the two albums at the time.
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah.
I think not so necessarily so much on that album, but that album after, which we'll talk about now.
Okay.
I think that's the one that you could listen to and think, I can really hear those, because it's more melodic than Suicide Season is.
Right.
It's got that melodic deathcore, like you can hear it. I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't know if our ears are just more in tune, but I can tell when a band's European and when a band's American.
Yeah.
Especially in metal. I don't know what it is. It's just there's a specific European metal sound
Yeah.
that I can hear a band 99% of the time. I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything, but my ears will go to me, there's something European here.
Yeah.
And I always thought that about Bring Me the Horizon, and I never looked into who produced their albums or anything, but I always thought they had more of a European. And like we said before, we'll get there, but Sempiternal sounds like some of the songs on that sound like raunchy albums from 6 or 7 years before. So they were definitely taking influences from European metal bands, and American stuff, of course, but a lot from that. But anyway, so third album, There Is a Hell, Believe Me, I've Seen It. There Is a Heaven, Let's Keep It a Secret. That's, first of all, an incredible album name. That's awesome. Again, this one was produced by Fredrik Nordstrom. So he produced, Dim Wol Big Ear, Arch Enemy, Soilwork, among many others. So yeah, again, British, sort of British/European metal. This one's more metalcore-y feel, but this one also has more experimentation. So it feels more orchestral. Like a lot of European metal is epic, has an epic sound.
Yeah.
This album has an epic sound. Like it sounds like you could have an orchestra start at any moment and it wouldn't fault the album at all. Like you could do an S&M with this album and nothing would be taken away from it. But yeah, still lots of heavy moments. Really, really, really great vocals on this. I think this is when Ollie's vocals, he started to step away from just doing screaming,
Right.
and he started to do scream singing. So kind of like the halfway transition point between screaming and singing. It was like a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Very raspy and very, very good. I think at this point he's probably thinking, I want to be a singer as well as someone who can scream. And this is when he started to transition between the two. But you can really feel the change on this album, and it really gives you a glimpse of the greatness that they were going to achieve on the next album, but we'll get there. But there's definitely shades of greatness on this one. Do you remember anything from this album?
No, I didn't. Oh no, it's the third one. Yeah, no, I don't really remember a lot.
Okay, from their heavy phase,
yeah,
I would recommend that you go back and listen to this one.
Yeah.
From the first 3 albums, because I think this one might give you a real okay, I might want to delve in a bit deeper here.
Yeah.
From that bit. Going forward, there's others, but from the first 3, I'd recommend this one that you listen to and go, ooh, okay.
What was I going to say? Yeah, no, I was just thinking about the... So yeah, I didn't get a chance to recently, just trying to think about why I didn't really like them or wasn't too keen about them at the time as well. But I know there was a lot of bands at the time doing that sort of raspy singing, wasn't there? And I didn't like it. I liked screaming, or I liked singing. I wasn't too keen on the sort of halfway point. I don't know why. It's just, like I said, a lot of bands were doing it, and I was like, nah, all of you, go away. I don't like that that style.
A whole genre went out the window. That's the old Adam, people.
Yeah.
That's not him anymore.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but yes,
that's
so I
the
will
old
go back.
me. Now this guy's recommending bands to us. So the tables have turned.
Yeah. But yes, I will go back and listen to that one definitely. Then
yeah. So from this one, just to crack onto the end of that, I would recommend It Never Ends, Alligator Blood, and I will say that Blessed with a Curse is the first Bring Me song that actually gave me feels rather than just thinking that their music was really good and heavy.
Okay.
Like when I listen to that song now, I'm not sure whether I should cry or break things.
Okay.
That song to this day still gives me a very strange feeling in a really good way that I can't explain. That song hits me in the feels. It does every time.
Yeah.
If they play it at download, I'm not sure. They probably won't. They probably won't play anything off this album. But if they were to play it at download, I possibly might get a bit emotional. I'm not sure what that song does to me.
Yeah.
But it does something weird to me. I'm not sure what it is, but very strange. Very strange. But yeah, I do recommend Blessed with a Curse because I think that's definitely one of my favourite Bring Me songs.
Yeah,
but
cool.
yeah,
I'll listen to that.
Just brilliant. Yeah, just brilliant. Right, moving on. 2013, where a lot of people became Bring Me fans. Everything else was probably too heavy. This was a beautiful segue between heavy and a more, I want to say, modern sounding new metal-y kind of sound, but still on the heavy side. A lot of people got into Bring Me the Horizon at Sempiternal. I'm sure we're all aware it was a huge album at the time. It's still considered now to be one of the best metal albums within the recent past, anyway, definitely. And it was produced by Terry Date, who has legitimately produced some of my favourite albums of all time. Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, Incubus Science, Deftones White Pony, Limp Bizkit Chocolate Starfish. The list literally goes, Funeral for a Friend, Hours. The list goes on and on and on with the stuff that Terry Date has produced. And he pulled another one out the bag here with Sempiternal. This album is of another level. But a big change to that would be that this is where they brought on Jordan Fish, who now plays all the electric stuff for them. So all the keyboards, all the samples, does extra drums, does backing vocals. He really beefed up this band and took it to the next level.
Yeah.
Watching Bring Me without him is legitimately like watching two different bands.
Okay.
He brought so much to this band. He contributes so much to the writing, so much to the process of recording, so much to the sound and the way that Bring Me are now. He was the big catalyst for change in this band. I always feel like that they weren't afraid to do what they wanted, but once he joined this band, and as we'll see from the albums after, just could do whatever the fuck they wanted.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't afraid to do anything anymore. So, yeah, Jordan Fish was a big catalyst for this. He was just a studio musician. I think they used him on the last album before this, but they made him a full-time member on this because he was contributing so much to the writing process and stuff. From a sound standpoint, I think this might be one of the best sounding metal albums there's ever been, possibly, apart from Posthuman Survival Horror, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Just everything about this album
is a big statement.
Yeah, I don't care. Everything about this album, I would have told you the same thing in 2013. Everything about this album is almost perfection. The riffs, the writing, the hooks, the orchestral parts, the drumming, the vocal, it is just all like capturing a super amazing moment within the band. Like, unreal. It's a must listen to album.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you haven't listened to Bring Me the Horizon, or you haven't bothered, right? I'm telling you right now, just go and listen to Sempiternal. You will not be disappointed. And if you are, I would love to know why, because it starts off with a Linkin Park song. It's not a Linkin Park song, but it is a Linkin Park song. So yeah, go and check it out. Sempiternal is well worth your time. I'm sure I don't have to tell a lot of you how good this album is. But from everything, I would. There's no song I would recommend. I would just recommend the whole album. Everything. I recommend every song, every moment of this. So yeah.
Yeah, was it?
Go and check it out. Have you ever heard it?
Yes, I have. I heard it for the podcast.
Yeah.
And
baby!
it was a long time ago. After you said, the first time you said that it got some raunchy sounding sort of vibes to it, and I listened to it and I was like, I didn't hear that. This is rubbish. Now, that was a long time ago. That was probably one of the first few episodes. Now I understand how much more you know about music than I do, and I am more open to things. So, just like you were saying a minute ago, when we started this podcast, I was the kind of guy, and I'm sure many of you know people like this, where if I was to make a new playlist, half of it would be like 2002, 2003 classics, because I couldn't get over them. I couldn't get past them. I couldn't get to new music. So, yes, so I am learning. I am getting there. And just hearing you, I obviously wanted to talk about Bring Me the Horizon because of the headlining download. I wanted to listen to them. But hearing you talk about them now makes me want to listen to them even more. It makes me want to be a fan of them, not just listen to them. So it's insane. It's insane. And I hope I hope this works for people listening as well. Because, not that Bring Me the Horizon need new fans. They got so many fans anyway. But, all the headliners do. But
it's true.
It's insane. And, this is the kind of thing we wanted to do anyway. So, yes, I will definitely Should have done the research for the episode. Things happened. I couldn't do so much, but I think I'm a fan of Bring Me the Horizon now without even listening to it.
Well, maybe we might have to add Bring Me the Horizon to your how many bands full discographies have you got to listen to in this year?
I said I was going to do 20.
you might as well Bring Me in there then, because
Might as well.
There's only like 6 or 7 albums,
Yeah.
so.
But I was thinking about it.
They're all good.
I was thinking about it, and a lot of the bands that I'll listen to, I won't need to listen to all their albums because I'll know a few of them. So I only have maybe 2 or 3 albums that I need to catch up with to know that all of their studio albums. But yeah, I think I will with Bring Me.
Good.
Just from listening to
good. I'm glad
to you.
Good. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
it's worth it though. Like that, you know, I think their discography's interesting because of where they came from and where they are now. I think that's interesting enough just to listen to their discography for that reason, because they started here and ended up fucking all the way over here.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they bring it, you know, occasionally they bring it back around again. I just think that's really interesting that a band that went from, you know, making songs called, you know, Pray for Plagues and I Made Out with Medusa are now doing songs live at Reading with fucking Ed Sheeran. Like, I just think that's a really interesting band path.
Yeah.
And I also think why I think it's that they're such a divisive band and so many people don't like them is because I don't know. I think when bands just do whatever they want, I think that people don't like it. When bands step out of what is expected of them, a lot of people just go, get back in your fucking box, deathcore band. And, you know, as a musician, I'm seeing it from the other side where I'm thinking, imagine being in a band where you've got a deathcore album, essentially what is a rock pop album, and, you know, like a metalcore album all in your 6 or 7 albums. So
Yeah.
I think that makes me like them even more. Not less. It makes me like them more because they have the talent to make all these different styles, and they've actually all turned out good.
Yeah. But I mean,
So-
the best musicians have got influences from everything, everywhere as well. Mm-hmm. Anyway, like, it's only the elitist fans that are stuck in their own little box wants to keep the band in their box. But like, it's like you've said, if we wanted to do a top 10 albums of all time, none of yours would be sort of rock or metal or alternative. So that just goes to show that you're not an elitist.
Your influences come from different places.
Your influence,
Yeah.
You want to be a good musician.
Yeah.
You can't just take influence from one area. You've got to take it from everywhere.
Yeah, I think that makes you a better musician. I think you'll find that anyone that you consider to be a fantastic musician, if you sat them down and spoke to them, you'd be like, they would 99% of the time have a very eclectic taste in music, or at least listen to different genres, because it's just easier to build yourself as a musician when you're trying different stuff. And yeah, some stuff doesn't pan out. Some bands try stuff and it doesn't work out, but they tried it. It's what they wanted to do. So I think that's more interesting than just going, oh, we're a metal band. We're expected to be a metal band, so we can only make metal.
Yeah.
That's fine if that's what you want to do. But I think some musicians would want to go, do you know what? We can be a metal band, but why don't we add some other elements into it? We're still a metal band, but, you know, let's put some trap hi-hats in there, or I don't know, put a fucking dance beat over it. I don't know, like try, you know what I mean? But that's just, we could do a whole episode about that, because that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, let's go listen to Sempiternal, because it's good.
Again, I will try.
Again. So moving on to the next one, which was That's the Spirit from 2015, an album that a lot of people prefer to Sempiternal. I'm sure there's loads of Bring Me fans out there that like That's the Spirit better than Sempiternal, simply because it, I don't know, has more of a sort of cleaner, nicer feel. I don't want to say it's a poppier record, because they don't really get poppy until Amo, which is after, but it's kind of like a continuation of what you heard on Sempiternal. Right. On some levels, a step in a more alternative metal direction rather than a metal-y direction. Still fantastic. Loads of great songs. Like I said before, some people still prefer it to Sempiternal. I don't think it's as good an album, but it's still in my top 5 Bring Me albums. So I still love this album very much. And I think that this is where Ollie's vocals, where he started to sing rather than sing scream.
Yeah.
So he actually has some really good singing vocals on That's the Spirit. But it was less half-half. Some of the stuff was half-half, and a lot of it was actual singing. So for him, it must have been a really cool step in the direction that he wanted to go. Crazy. They released 7 singles from this album.
Did they?
7 singles from this and the next album. Each of them had 7. That just shows you how popular Bring Me the Horizon had got from Sempiternal.
Yeah.
That on their next album they could release 7 singles, which is absolutely insane. It was a few more slower tracks on this one. Like I said, it is still really good. Don't like it quite as much, but I know people out there that prefer it to Sempiternal. But I would recommend from this one Doomed, which was the track that you were thinking about. The first track that's got the sort of little trap beats and stuff in it.
Yeah.
It is a good song. It's just a sort of slow builder, bit of an epic one. I'd recommend Doomed, Happy Song, Drown, and Throne from this song, because they're all from this album. They're all killer tracks, I would say.
Yeah, well, I knew Throne because that was on like Scuzz and Kerrang, or one of them. I can't remember which one we were watching a lot of the time. It was on there all the time, and we were probably quite often doing different things, and it just grew on me. Like, and after a while, I was like, who is this band? Like, and it was Bring Me the Horizon. I never expected to like a Bring Me the Horizon song. Little fun fact: the same happened with Sleeping with Sirens, is it? With the really high pitched voice, and that was never ever my kind of music at the time either. Like when I first started, I was like, "What's this?" And it just grew on me, and it was really good. You know, I was starting my journey to enlightenment even back then. But yeah, no,
you were.
Yeah, but Throne, such a good song. It's such a good song, and so I will listen to this
really
one.
Good.
And listen to more of the other stuff. But you said that the next one is more of a like singy, poppy kind of.
It's more of a step away. Let's move on to AMO, which is 2019.
I think I might enjoy that one a bit more.
And this is the good thing about this band. You can just see them. It's just progression. They're just doing what they want. They're going to go in this direction. They're going in that direction. So this one, it's like a plethora of different styles in this one. You've got pop, straight up pop songs, alternative pop songs, I would say, not pop. You know, it's not fucking S Club 7, but it is alternative pop music. Metal, dance, EDM, they don't hold back on this album. It's great. It's a really diverse album, but all of the songs are excellently crafted, like ridiculously. This is probably my second or third favourite Bring Me album. Great hooks, just amazing. Just again, 7 singles from this album, 7 of them. It's insane. One of them featuring Danny Filth, so that tells you all you need to know about that single.
Yeah, I don't know any of the singles or any of the songs.
I would say that Sempiternal and That's the Spirit were very well received by Bring Me fans and sort of casual fans. But AMO, because it went in a more poppy direction and stepped away from the more metal stuff, even though there is metal on this album and a lot of that in there, people didn't like it as much because it was a bit of a step away from what they had done before. I love it. I think it's an incredible record. I think the production's amazing. I think their production's always good, but on this it's very, very good. And yeah, I love it. I think it's a must listen to, especially if you like the poppier side of alternative music. I think this is would be a really nice, decent listen. I'd recommend Mantra, Nihilist Blues, Wonderful Life, and Medicine from this one.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I don't know anything about this one at all, so I can't help you out with this one. Okay. I'm afraid.
It'll be good. It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
And finally, their last album that they have brought out, Post-Human Survival Horror, in 2020. So we only got like a year. It came at the end of 2020, but basically only a year later after AMO. Again, it's a combination of the poppier stuff, but has a heavier edge. So this I think was well received by the fans because they took those poppy, catchy elements, but put them with heavier songs.
Right.
So the vocals are still poppy, but the music isn't as poppy as AMO was.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was produced by Mick Gordon, who is the composer of the Doom Eternal soundtrack. apparently they had been playing Doom Eternal and thought that the soundtrack was so fucking great. They got in contact with this guy and he ended up producing. I think there was like 3 tracks he didn't do and the rest of them he done.
Yeah.
But I mean, I talked about the production before. Production on this we're talking another level. Absolutely. If you work in production or you understand music production, or if you have anything to do, or if you like really nice, good sounding albums that are dense, full of stuff, this album is nuts production wise. There was so much going on, so many elements. I hear something new every time I listen to this album. There's something buried in the mix that my brain hasn't comprehended yet, and I'm always figuring stuff out. I was in the car the other day listening to Mantra with Carter on the way down to Bournemouth, and we're driving there and I'm like, whoa, what? I've never heard that synth part before. Wait, go back. Yeah, I've listened to this song about 50 times. I've never heard that synth part before.
Yeah.
Just because different speakers bring it out, never heard it in my headphones.
Sense. Yeah.
But I could hear it in the car. And it just shows you how many, when you're really good at producer and you're really good and you work with these bands and you try and get the most out of them you can, if you layer an album like perfectly, you can listen to that album 100 times and not hear everything. Yeah. That's what a good producer will do. So production-wise, this is a must-listen. But yeah, great combination. Heavy guitars, electronic sounds. Some of it sounds like the Doom Eternal soundtrack. Some of it sounds like Bring Me the Horizon. It's amazing. And Ollie's voice on this is... I mean, he's gone through the terms. On AMO is really good, but on this, it's just brilliant. And now he's a great live singer as well, which he was always struggling to do. And I feel like now he's got to that point where he can sing really well live as well as on the albums.
Yeah.
Which is hard to match up if you're coming from being a screamer and going all the way to try and be an actual singer, which is difficult. I know screaming is very difficult as well, but trying to be a good singer and frontman is a difficult thing to do. And I feel like now he's almost reached that point where he's as good live as he is on the albums. And I know they use samples and backing vocals and all that sort of stuff, but every band does that now, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You could be any band and you bring in background vocals and stuff. But yeah, a brilliant album. I think it's really good. I recommend Parasite Eve, Kingslayer featuring Baby Metal, which is just insane. Just that song's mental. And Ludens, which is my personal favourite song off of the album. And that is all of the Bring Me the Horizon albums.
Awesome. Do you have a favourite? Did you say it in that?
I'd probably say Sempiternal is my favourite.
Yeah.
I'd say Sempiternal is my favourite album. But there's some, I think that Posthuman Survival Horror, That's the Spirit, AMO, they're all running close seconds. And then after that, you've got all the others, which I don't think there's any bad Bring Me the Horizon album.
Yeah.
I think that any of those could be someone's favourite, and I would say, get you. So very good, very consistent, I think.
Yeah.
Other people might, because, they're split in two. Some people might listen to the Poppier and go, wow, and then listen to the Count Your Blessings and go, what on earth is this? Because it's literally like two different bands.
Yeah.
It's literally like you've listened to two different bands, but it's the same band. So it is a bit hard for people to sort of adjust to that. So we'll do a playlist, guys. We'll do a Bring Me the Horizon playlist. Cool. We'll make that, and it will be attached to the episode, so you guys can listen to loads of different Bring Me the Horizon stuff. Yeah, cool. And I just want to quickly mention, the singles they've released since then. I really like Die For You. I think it's awesome. I really like Strangers. I think you've said that you like the song Strangers as well, haven't you?
Yes, yeah.
That's really good. And their cover with Ed Sheeran of his own song Bad Habits, I think is so good that it's better than the original version.
I've not heard that one. Like, now you said it, I remember there was so much hype about it. Everyone talking about it. And I didn't listen to it. I don't know why. I just didn't go.
Just weird. I was in London with Vicky, and we were going to see Paradise Lost, and we were in the hotel, literally drinking for Paradise Lost. And I think she told me, or I told her, I can't remember, she went, Bring Me the Horizon, Ed Sheeran just released a track. And I'm like, what? I'm like, let's listen to it. And we were both like, that's sick. That's so good. Like, I think she might have already liked the original song. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm not an Ed Sheeran fan or anything, but obviously he writes fantastic songs.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's really good. I really like the sound of Ed Sheeran and like distorted guitars, which sounds like it won't work, but it actually works really well.
Yeah.
So
I wonder how many of
you should
his
listen to it.
fans
It's really good.
enjoy it too. Probably all of them. Probably a lot of them. But yeah, no, I will. I
Yeah.
definitely will go through and listen to a lot of these. Something I should have done before the episode, to be honest. But we set ourselves out on a schedule, and I didn't get to it. So next week will be different. But yeah, what was it I said about Throne, didn't I? Have you ever seen them live? Bring me.
Yes.
That
Yeah, I saw them live in very early, probably 2000 and it may even be 2006. It's 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I saw them. I can't remember who they were supporting. They were supporting someone, and that was the time I remember going, "Oh, not this band," and then being like, "Wow, they're actually really good." So proper like early deathcore days. I saw them at Download in 2007 or 8. I want to say 8.
Yeah.
And then I saw them in like 2012, and I don't think I've seen them. I haven't. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I definitely haven't seen them since 2014. So
Cool.
I haven't seen them. I didn't see them at last Download, but they haven't played Download since 2014. So it's been a long time that Bring Me haven't played this festival. So I know it's a big deal them coming back to headline, but the fact that they haven't played Download in so long is also a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. I know I've said it on the show a few times now, but I am looking forward to seeing them. Even though I don't know much of their stuff at the moment, like I just the amount you've spoken about them already, or the amount that we've both spoken about them and how they should be ready to headline, just got me excited.
Yeah, and a perfect thing to do that is, dude, go watch the Reading set.
Yes,
It's all on YouTube.
That's one of the main things that got me excited. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wow. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, you watch that, and I know the people that went and started posting on all the Download pages just to say they're ready.
Yeah.
They're ready.
Yeah.
They're ready now. Like, get them now while you still can get them, sort of thing. So I'm really, really happy that they were announced for this year's Download. I think it's a really good move. And I think it will add to the popularity of this year's Download even more with them being such a hot band at the moment. Let's get them there, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to be standing there. I'm going to sing probably every song of every track, I reckon.
Nice.
Like I said before, I said this to Adam before, I said, I thought I just liked Bring Me the Horizon. It turns out I love Bring Me the Horizon. I just never realised it.
Yeah.
I just never realised it, how much I actually I am into this band, which is quite a lot.
I think it's quite clear now to everybody that you are, even though you did sit down and do research, I don't know, you probably didn't have to do very much. Just the odd little bits.
I just listened to stuff that I hadn't listened to in a while, like Suicide Season. You know, that's the album I go to the least. So I thought I'll stick it on, man. And I was surprised with some of it. I was like, oh god, I completely forgot about this song. Awesome. But all the new stuff, I could have done it without anything. But I just needed to go back to the older stuff and sort of remind myself of their stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, it's all coming oozing back into my brain.
Awesome. Cool.
I think I would say though quickly, the annoying thing is I looked at their set from Reading and they don't play anything before Sempiternal.
Really? I was
So it's
just
all
thinking about asking
it's all
you that.
Sempiternal past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all there's nothing on the set list before Sempiternal. So it's all, you know, mainly, so I mean, I say new, I mean Sempiternal was 10 years ago, so everything from the last 10 years but nothing before that. So, you know, no Chelsea Smile, no Blessed with a Curse, no Pray for Plagues. They definitely ain't playing any of that deathcore stuff. But what I was going to say is that's a Reading set.
Yeah, true.
Not a Download set. You're not going to play for Praise on the main stage at Reading. So, you know, a headline set on the Reading. So their Download set might be more metally.
Yeah.
I don't know. And who knows what they'll release before then either, because they've released singles, but I can't really find any information about them releasing a new album. So I can't tell you if they're going to release any sort of new music. So I don't know.
Yeah.
If you know, you tell us, because I can't really find anything about it. So
Yeah, that's a pretty good caveat to put in there, actually, that it wasn't a Download set. Because I was just about to ask,
yeah,
do you think is just sort of trying to preserve his voice? Do you think maybe he struggles doing as much screaming live, or they just?
Yeah, I think he prefers to do on the new songs. There'll be screaming parts.
Yeah,
I don't think he wants to scream, and that's fair enough. You've moved on from that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I totally understand it. So, and listen, I'd be people are saying, people have said before, because it was 10 years. It'll be 10-year anniversary this year of Sempiternal.
Yeah.
People were saying they're going to do Sempiternal all the way through because it's download.
yeah,
And I would love that. I might prefer a set of loads of stuff, but I would never say no to them doing Sempiternal all the way through, because I think that would be very good.
Well, ever since I listened to it back, I'm usually really good at remembering exactly what episode things happened in, but I'd have no idea what episode it was. Quite early one, at least a year ago, and I recognise people wearing the jackets all the time, or I recognise the pattern, and you don't get that anymore. I don't remember the last time I saw someone wearing a Korn t-shirt or a Korn hoodie out in town, or Limp Bizkit, or anybody, Slipknot, Linkin Park. But so many people have the Sempiternal, I guess merchandise, like tops, jackets, and they're happy to wear it out in town.
Yeah. It's cool. I like it. I like that cover. It is recognisable with the circle with all the shapes.
I don't know if that's.
I did read actually that Sempiternal was like it's an English word from a Latin word that means time never ending.
Okay.
So if something's Sempiternal means that it'll go on forever.
Yeah.
It'll just keep repeating like eternity. So I thought that was even cooler. Really cool.
Yeah.
Cool name as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just made me think of something I saw the other day. Going a little bit off now, but All Star by what's it called? Hey now, you're an All Star. Who's that? Smash Mouth.
Oh God,
Smash
yeah.
Mouth.
Game.
I saw something
bang.
the other day. Someone translated that song into a different language, then translated it back, and it was so funny.
Oh, that's awesome! That's a great idea.
I cannot remember any parts of it, but if you're interested in finding out what that was, go and look for it. It exists. Just because there were certain things that don't exist in the other language, so when it was translated back, it changed massively.
Yeah,
it was quite funny.
I bet. That's awesome. That's such a great idea. It's such a weird idea to come up with, but that sounds
I can't remember what
awesome.
language it was now. I wanted to say German, but I don't think it was. Maybe it was like Arabic or something. Yeah. Bring Me the Horizon. Are we finished with Bring Me the Horizon? Oh no, just about to say, I don't know if what I was saying about seeing people wearing the t-shirts, or I think tattoos as well. Like, it's just so iconic, like such a known little pattern.
Oh, there will be a lot.
I don't know if it's just because I know the pattern now. I probably saw lots before. So, like, say for example, That's a Spirit. That's just got a simple umbrella. So maybe I've seen that as well, but I wouldn't have known it was a.
A lot of people have that tattooed.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that. Yeah, a lot of people have that tattooed.
Okay.
That symbol.
Yeah. So it does
definitely see Bring Me fans with that.
Yeah, it does seem like Bring Me the Horizon are the Korn hoodie or Korn t-shirt over a hoodie from the early 2000s of our day. Like you don't see them anywhere
Definitely.
anymore. That's what I was alluding to, if it wasn't obvious. But like they are seen quite a lot now, even by me.
Which is good. We need those bands at the forefront.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So they obviously, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They obviously come a long way, a lot further than probably what a lot of us oldies would realise, who would never interested in getting into them, and just think, who the hell are they? They shouldn't be headlining. Get Iron Maiden back. The sort of people.
We don't want to be one of those.
No, I'm not one of them. But I'm looking forward to it, and we all know now that you're looking forward to it. I hope everybody else is looking forward to it.
Hells yeah.
Yeah. So, are you happy to finish up there? Is there anything else? There's nothing else you want to say about Bring Me the Horizon? Shall we get into the outro?
There is nothing else I want to say about them that I haven't already said. No, I just I'll say the same thing that I said for the Metallica one. All the headliners of this. I just really like this band.
Yeah. And I'm getting there. I'm working on myself. I'm working on it.
Do it.
Cool. And like, what did you say for people to ask? I don't know. So yeah, well, we should probably bring it to an end there. And if not everybody has guessed yet, next episode will be about Slipknot, the final headliner that we haven't talked about yet. That's going to be a fun episode to do.
Oh God, yeah. There's a lot. There's there's a lot to break down in this one, but the Slipknot thing's a whole thing. Oh my word.
Yeah.
There's I got a lot of. I know people probably saying for me to shut up now, but you think I had a lot to say about Bring Me? I got a lot to say about Slipknot.
But I mean, actually, you spoke about the new single earlier, but the question why? Why have they released a new single so close to? So it's not very long after a new album. Like that doesn't make sense.
I think it's either from the same session or a session around the time.
Right.
So I don't think it's going to be from anything. I think it's just something extra from the album that we didn't get.
Yeah. But nobody really does it. Well, I know.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I have no idea. I was going to say nobody really does that, but they probably do. I'm just not aware of it.
Some bands do. Sometimes they plan that because they think they bring out an album and then they think, oh, do you know what? We've got those couple of songs. Maybe we can release those. You know, so you stay in their sort of consciousness.
Yeah.
So excuse me. So they stay in your consciousness. You don't stay in their consciousness. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. But I mean, that's quite a new thing. I've not really known a band to do that before, so it was odd to me.
Yeah.
You would normally keep a song for the next album or something. You wouldn't, just chuck it out not long after you brought out an album out. But never known someone to do it, basically. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very tired now. So it probably is time to shut up shop right here and say goodbye to everybody. And I'll say the same thing I do every episode in the outro. You can find us on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, etc., as Dear Download or Dear Download Podcast. You can email us at deardownload2003@gmail.com. Anything you want. Tell us how much you love Bring Me the Horizon. Anything. But yeah, if you want to come on the show, if you want to give us a topic that you think we should talk about, we'll happily have a look and discuss it and see what we can do. But as also any questions, corrections. What else did I used to say? Corrections. Oh, I don't know.
That was it, wasn't it?
Questions or corrections. Yes, that is going to be it from us. Simon, we did talk about your YouTube briefly earlier, but you just want to give it another quick plug.
Yeah, so please go check out my YouTube. I got loads of stuff on there. My last video, I haven't even decided yet what the next one's going to be. I've got loads of different stuff to do. So, I've got a giant list now of all stuff that I want to do videos on. So it's just like whatever one I want to pick that week. Nice. So there's no real plan at the moment until I'm going to record a couple in sort of, succession. But yeah, the last one was bands that hate their own music.
Yeah.
So that one's definitely worth a little watch. But yeah, come over, Simon Bond on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I am Fonzy, FONZY_Simon.
Awesome. And the other thing I forgot was our Discord. We're trying to grow our Discord and create an awesome little community over there. We've got quite a few people in there already talking most days about some awesome stuff. I mean, we're talking about football at the minute. Well, they have been this evening whilst we've been recording.
Literally.
But yeah.
I said it before to people. I'm on our Discord more than I'm on any other of my social media, really, because there's always people chatting on there, so I always want to have a chat to people. So, yeah, it's awesome. Thank you to everyone that's on there at the moment, but let's get some more people over, man. Yeah. Get over to the, come over and join the community. It's fantastic.
Definitely. And there'll be an invite link in the episode description for that as well. So, to finish the episode off, it's going to be a goodbye from Simon.
Goodbye.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.